and that every effort has been made to minimise savings in adult social care. Well, one organisation who is willing to speak to me, which helps carers and is funded by the council, is Birmingham-based Forward Carers, and their executive manager is Anna Smith, and she's in the studio with me right now. Morning, Anna.
Morning, Rakeem. It's great to be here.
Thank you for being here. Now, your organisation's funding has actually been protected, hasn't it? What does that mean?
Yeah, that's right. So we are in a very fortunate position where the services that we provide for unpaid carers in Birmingham via our service Birmingham Carers Hub have been sustained. They've been protected, and that means that unpaid carers in Birmingham can continue to access the Birmingham Carers Hub support and services across the whole of the city.
And I would assume that means you're committed to helping the most vulnerable of people then?
Yeah, absolutely. And unpaid carers and, of course, the people that they care for can be some of the most vulnerable people. There is a statutory right in law that unpaid carers have the right to a carers assessment and to some support and services and wellbeing services. And we are able to continue doing that through our service, Birmingham Carers Hub. There are around 90,000 carers, unpaid carers across Birmingham. So we've got a lot of people that do need help and support.
You've mentioned support. What type of issues, then, do people come to you for help with?
Well, the unpaid caring role can be really challenging. It's a real privilege in many cases to be able to provide care and support for the person that you care for. It might be a friend, family member, spouse, neighbour. It can also be really challenging. There's high levels of loneliness and isolation amongst unpaid carers. Over half of unpaid carers talk about the caring role having an impact on their mental health. And 6 in 10 of carers we surveyed towards the end of last year talk about significant financial impacts as a result of their unpaid caring role.
Can we talk a little bit about those financial impacts? I mean, how much of a financial detriment or financial stress and is it then on someone in that situation?
So it does vary from person to person, but in a lot of cases, or for example, 1 in 3 unpaid carers actually provide over 35 hours of care each week.
Oh, wow.
If you can imagine trying to hold down a full-time job whilst doing that, and of course when you're not caring, a lot of carers are thinking about the person they care for, planning the next phone call they have to make, thinking about what do I need to do next. So a lot of unpaid carers end up leaving work or cutting down their hours significantly. So that has a real financial penalty. There are other financial aspects as well relating more directly to the actual care needs. It could be additional heating needs in the house, additional fuel costs, transport to hospital appointments, GPs, car parking charges, the list does go on.
Considering, this large number of people who are caring in this way, what proportion of that number do you think are kind of going unnoticed and unsupported?
We support about 20,000. We have about 20,000 carers registered with Birmingham Carers Hub, and there are about 90,000 unpaid carers in Birmingham. So there's a lot of carers out there, and that's really one of the messages I'd like to get out there today. If you are an unpaid carer, there is help and support out there for you through the Birmingham Carers Hub service. We're citywide. We're delivered in partnership with about 17 different not-for-profits around the city. Do get in touch with us.
How do we fix the problems with social care? I mean, if we're looking at the local council right now, they're trying to cut £24 million to adult social care. This is impacting so many people in so many different ways. How can you make this better when you're faced up against numbers like that?
I wish I had an answer. I just can only imagine being in that situation. All I know is we need to safeguard the people of Birmingham. We need to safeguard unpaid carers and the people that they care for. We'd love to see greater investment in health and social care from government itself. And we're just really grateful and pleased that we have managed to retain and maintain the services for carers.
But if you were in charge, what would you do? What would your main point of action be first?
I feel like this is a question for society. Do you know that most of us are going to be in a caring role at some point in our lives? And if we're not in a caring role, we might be receiving care from people. As a society, this is something we're going to have to come up with an answer together, because this number is only going to grow. The challenges are going to keep increasing. More money will definitely start to help. Also recognition from community and society. Our mission is to create carer-friendly communities, and that space is where people, where unpaid carers are seen, they're valued, they're supported and understood by everyone in the community, from GPs, education sector, healthcare sector, and their employers as well. So we want to come together. We think the solution is both investment in money and also people coming together as a community to support family carers.
Yeah, and it's clear things need to change. If you're helping, almost a fifth of all the people in the city who are unpaid carers, that's such a large amount of people that you're trying to help and that you are helping at the same time. So something needs to happen. I mean, hearing from Sam and hearing from Winnie,
wow, yeah.
The amount of hours working every single week, or over 60 hours a week, and finding it hard to have someone replace that. Is that common, not getting that type of support then?
Well, Winnie and Sam's situation, which was so hard to hear about just then, is Winnie is a paid carer, which is obviously a professional role, and there are obviously clearly significant challenges there. Imagine trying to carry out a role when somebody else's safety, perhaps, and their well-being is reliant on you, and you don't have enough sleep, you don't have any breaks. There are real risks, I would say, associated with that. Unpaid carers equally, I think 1 in 3 I mentioned, provide over 35 hours of care a week. Lots of the carers we provide support to, actually, they say it's all day, it's every day. How can you continue caring safely without the support and respite there? So we would love to see more respite opportunities for carers, but there is a service there, and we do want carers to reach out to us at Birmingham Carers Hub.
You did mention this a little before. I just want you to end our chat on this. If people are struggling, then what should they do?
If they have online access, go to www.birminghamcarershub.org.uk. Reach out to us, reach out to your family members. They might be thinking, am I a carer? Who is an unpaid carer? If I have just a minute to say that an unpaid carer is anyone, it could be a child or an adult, who looks after somebody, a partner, a family member, a friend, a neighbour, who needs help because of an illness, a frailty, a disability, a mental health problem, or an addiction, and they rely on them because of that issue. You are a carer in that role, and you are entitled to help and support. So please reach out to us.
Anna Smith, thank you so much for being here on The Breakfast Show today. That's Anna Smith from Forward Carers talking to us this morning. What do you think about all of this? Morning to Peter in Walsall. He says, it's bang on the money. It's totally true. All the people who run social services